changing my voice. Keep in mind I had to make this video twice because, not to insult anybody, but the human race these days has become very, very pathetic, and there's no way back. Altering the genes just makes it worse. The failure of the patriarchal lines is extreme, extreme, extreme. And that is key in understanding the parable of the sower. If you don't understand that, then you're lost in life in general. You're not going to understand anything in the Bible. And the Bible has a lot of codes and riddles and stupidity like that in it. Okay, so basically the parable of the sower, let's get right to the message, because, the longer I take, the more likely they are to provoke me and fuel me and use drugs to try to get me to be angry and lash out. So let's get right to the point here. Okay. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. So the seed that was sown along the path, okay, and they don't understand it. So it doesn't matter if they're walking along the path, they don't truly grasp why they're doing it. If they go to church, for example, they don't know why they're there. And the church is not even the path. Okay, never forget the church is not the path. It's not. Okay, then it's no use, right? The evil one just snatches away, no problem. The one who has received the seed that fell on rocky places, the one who hears the word and at once receives it with joy, but since they have no root, okay, remember the root and offspring of David, the warrior spirit of God. If they don't have the warrior spirit that in 1 Samuel 17 caused the Israelites in the story didn't actually happen, but in the story with the moral, to surge forward, okay, then it's useless, right? Because they have no root. The root is the fruit of the tree of the warrior order of God, the Royal African Falcon Top Martial Arts Order, and the offspring, the spiritual offspring of that tree. Okay, so they last only a short time, and when trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. 3, the one who received the seed that fell among the thorns is the one who hears the word, but the worries of life, okay, the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke it, making it unfruitful. They're raised wrong, gold diggers, people who are cowards. They're afraid to stand for what's firm. They're worried about what's going to happen to their family. That's why Matthew 10 makes it clear that not to put your family before God, or you're not worthy of God. You're not going to heaven, and they're not going to heaven either. And you're leading them to hell by example, so you're not really worried about them where it matters most. It's like someone's in the hospital and, they're dying, and you're worried about, them not having some expensive jewelry or something, okay? It's stupid, right? You got to worry about things in a certain order. You need to worry about them going to heaven first and foremost. Forget whether they enjoy this life or not. It's so petty for people to put this life above that. All right, 4, but the one who received the seed that fell on good soil is the one who hears the word and understands it. He produces a crop yielding 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. Okay, so you receive it in the warrior spirit. You're in the martial arts spirit of God in the divine order, and then you understand it. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field, but while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat, and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, okay, the weed also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Well, sir, sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where did the weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. The servants asked him, "Why?" The servants asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?" "No, because while you're pulling up the good weeds, you might pull up while you're pulling up the weeds, you might pull up the good weed as well." So they caused me to stumble all kinds of ways. So again, curses on them and their family. Hope you people are proud, okay? Everyone, not just the people doing this, but everyone outside the divine order. You've chosen to team up with circus rapists. 1 in 4 little girls are molested in America. Think about the kind of cowards, the kind of goofy. These people are literally acting giddy and quote-unquote gay, meaning happy and silly and pointless and unfocused, while people are suffering. So, yes, people are going to suffer for this. And yes, that is fair, and I should point it out as it occurs. The more I do that in the videos, the more you start to see the repetition of their childish and immoral and evil way. Why all this stuff is happening. Little children are starving to death. 9 million people a year are starving to death and dying of hunger-related issues and all kinds of other stuff that's going down. Okay, people are getting molested at record rates with females getting raped. These people are, and all the spirits that they control, everyone outside the divine order, their cultures, their spirits, their nations, their peoples, are persecuting the most righteous person ever on top of everything else. If you don't know that finding your life in this world and doing what they say is fucking retarded and the dumbest decision you could possibly make, okay, the dumbest thing you could possibly do is not obey God through me. If you don't know that, let's face it, you're mildly retarded. You're not the same species as I am. Thank you. So there's other parables as well, like the mustard seed and yeast, and so on and so forth. But let's just end Matthew 13 here. A lot of people take some of these parables and say, hey, the littlest tree. No, they're not talking about how tall you are. They're talking about, your social status, going against the grain, right? Etc., etc., right? When they say the small tree, the small seed, what have you, outdid the other ones, okay? So that's basically Matthew 13 in a nutshell. And let's go ahead and leave it there, and you can thank the oppressor for the reason why I couldn't read it. I don't have some attractive assistant reading it for me, drawing in more views, okay? Everyone's going to be held accountable for what they did not do. That which you did not do for the Son of God when he's persecuted at the most important point in history, you did not do for God. It's that simple.